This is a battle with swords, not some fistfight. As long as one of us is still breathing, then this fight's not over.
Hey everyone, this is Armor, and today I am here to cover the war in Region 1. So I have a special guest, and Panda, can you tell us what is going on in Region 1 right now?
So basically, what happened is Cassandra ended up coming to our region for top commander. And although I understand that, this is kind of normal that whales are going to snipe heroes no matter what, each region kind of has their own structure and stuff. And we just don't like people coming in and sniping heroes. And I personally debuffed her because I was like, all right, it kind of sends a message and you don't want people to think they can just come in your region and steal your heroes, right? I know players who save for months, obviously, who get really discouraged by stuff like this, so it kind of annoys me and ticks me off. But yeah, we gave her the debuff, and Safeme, he ends up what ends up happening is he ends up messaging leadership within the region, and he tries to get into Zone 3 through their alliances, but that ends up failing because they decline him, and then he threatening the region. They're making me go mental. So yeah, he's really pissed because we realistically it's commander or nothing. So yeah, I don't know. If you have another question, you can ask it.
So if I understand this correctly, it is because Cassandra got a debuff from you guys because she moved to your region for top commander event.
Yeah, yeah, she got like 400 million plus points and the last top commander, and she's really mad that she got debuffed. Which, to be fair, I really don't understand why. But she's really mad she got debuffed, so she wanted to stay in our region and like basically terrorize us. And I mean, their main target is me because I debuffed her. But I mean, like, dude, I'm just doing my job as the president. This is kind of like, I mean, dude, like this region's been around for over 3 years. I don't know why these guys are trying to topple what we got going on here.
So does Cassandra have any past problems with Region 1 or with you or with any of the other alliances, or just she moved randomly and this all started?
No, nothing. It was nothing like that. Literally, I've never spoken to Cassandra. And it's a little bit weird too because Save Me was saying I threatened her and stuff, but I don't even have a chat log with her. But yeah, I've never spoken to Cassandra or anything. She's never come to Region 1, but she came, so we debuffed her. But I don't understand why they're going this far as to like invade the region and try to push us out because they're upset at how we manage our own region, right? Like that just doesn't make sense at all. And he basically was trying to argue his point for the last like hour in region chat why he's right. I just these guys are crazy to me.
Do you think it is simply because of the debuff, or it is because ROK and HNB have been beating Apex or DHX in Archipelago or Island Raid for a long while?
So they actually say themselves that the reason is she got debuffed, right? Like they're literally saying that's the reason. Just because she got debuffed, they're invading the region, and we didn't want to remove the debuff because it's our region, right? We don't want people sniping. But I'm pretty sure that there is an underlying reason with like ROK because if you don't know, I joined for one event, which honestly I don't understand why they're so pissed. I mean, like I just joined for an event, but they were mentioning that and trying to be like, oh, ROK this, HMB, whatever, right? And I'm just like, dude, what the hell, man? These guys have gone freaking cuckoo because I think they just took it personally. And even though that's kind of a crazy reason to invade a region, even if I joined ROK like permanently, I mean, why are you, invading region 1? Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's super normalized that whales are going to go around snipe top commanders, and I understand that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand it's just kind of a concept in the game, but you shouldn't expect to just be able to walk in somebody's house and get a free meal. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, if I walk into somebody's house, I'm not expecting them to just give me a slap on the butt and like let me leave, right? Like these guys are coming in and basically digging in our refrigerators, like metaphorically, right? And just stealing hero fragments. And we don't like that here, so we debuff. It's pretty simple. This is our region, how we structure it. I don't get why they think they have a say in how we run our region. You know?
I think the issue stems as far as back as like the migration event when it started, and like you are an old player yourself. So what do you think should be done about it so that the regions are comparatively more safer, more secure, and the game can keep on growing for the indigenous people of that region?
Yeah, I think what would be good it would be a one migration cooldown. So like migrating between regions takes you so and so long, right? Even if it's just a month between them, that would be nice. Plus the restriction, I think that it should be 2 weeks for at least, these older regions. I don't think being able to just pop in and get out in 3 days, like maybe arena, that's different. But like top commander and stuff, it's just kind of absurd. These guys can pop over anytime they want. And if they want to migrate in like let's say this 14-day like just imagining that it's 14 days, they have to actually miss a top commander, meaning that they're either likely more so committed to moving into this region if they're going to be migrating, or they're just, looking for easy fragments and plan to kind of camp it out there and are willing to kind of miss a top commander to migrate. So I do think like there should be some sort of somewhat punishment like that to just, restrict people from jumping.
So I also agree that like there should be some protection or barrier for the native of that region.
Yeah, yeah, like how you can't score points on top commander. I'm saying like that would be great if it was 2 weeks, like 14 days instead. So there'd be like more risk to kind of migrating. Like you'd have to actually dodge a top commander. Like you'd have to be willing to miss out on a top commander, and usually those people would probably be committed to the region they're moving to because they're like, oh, well, I'm going to miss this top commander to move to this region, and it's worth it for me because I want to play with these guys or whatever. And I feel like it would kind of lower the cases of people just jumping around willy nilly and sniping stuff.
Like I don't understand, for example, Cassandra or Safeme. They already have all heroes maxed out. So for them to awaken new heroes, I don't think why do they need to move region? I don't understand
Well,
this.
well, well. This was a new hero. So she got the 200 fragments for the new rider hero because she scored like 400 million points on top commander here. So she doesn't have it awakened yet. She actually had like I think 2 or 3 skills undone, and I think she's just planning to score first again to awaken that. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, like sorry to be a bit repetitive, but I think all the whales, like strong players, they already have all heroes maxed out, and they are already saving plenty of fragments, and then they are getting extra fragments from different events as well. So I do not understand why they need to jump regions to get more fragments.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because they're both getting like let's say they get 200 in every top commander, right? They're getting 200 shards, 200 shards. They're already getting potentially 400 shards from getting first place in 2 top commanders, meaning to awaken the hero they only have to spend like an extra 200 something, right? Like 280 I think, because it costs 680 fragments to awaken the hero. So yeah, they're definitely not spending they probably have a lot of fragments in their bag, especially for whales like these. I'm sure they just max out all those packs.
So do you think that something should be done about the migration event so that there is more protection for local players? Like it should be quarterly, it should be half yearly, yearly, it should be time barred, or what should be done about it so that it is a little bit more like balanced and newer players they do not have like T5 or T6 right outside their shelters like they are level 5 or 10 headquarter and then a T6 of 150 million mind is sitting next to their base.
Oh, you mean like to hop for every like jump from region to region? I feel like that would be excessive because some people get stuck in a bad region and then like having to wait half a year, for example, would really screw you over. Like imagine just something happens within that region. Maybe leadership kind of betrays. Like even if it's just 2 months, I feel like that would be kind of fair. But definitely half a year. I don't feel like it should be that long because people all have their circumstances.
So in your opinion, and do you think that the old system where you need to buy immigration tickets before you need to migrate, Should that be returned, or you are okay with the current system? Because I believe that the old system was a little more punishing towards migration, and I think that system might need to be implemented again to make this game a little more balanced, a
Yeah,
little more fair for the new players. What do you think about this?
yeah. Well, I feel like I don't know if that system should be returned, or at least that high of a cost. Like, I could understand them still hiking up the cost or making it really hard to grind, but not to the point where like it was in the past. Thing is, if you wanted to migrate, like me for example, I would maybe need, and this was earlier, so now it's probably even worse. But for example, when I was moving to Boone's region, and you got to also take into account the higher your rank was within the region that you were moving to, the more tickets would cost you. So if I ranked top 20, it would cost me, maybe 10 extra tickets or 20 extra tickets. If I ranked first, it maybe would cost me 40 or 8, whatever, right? It just costed you a lot more as you also ranked higher. So it was kind of like you fell off in a lot of those places. And it would cost potentially hundreds to move if you were trying to do it in a short period of time. So sorry I cut you off.
So what I think is that the game is a little more punishing for the newer players. Like I mentioned earlier, like a level 5, maybe level 10 headquarter, and right outside his base, you have a 150 million might account. So the game is quite punishing towards new players. And for new players to grow, it becomes really hard to develop in an indigenous region if there is no support structure available. So, what do you think about this? Like, what are your thoughts, and how should it be fixed, or it should continue how it is right now?
I don't blame some people who feel that way. There's just so many new features, like workshop was like freaking terrible. And I mean it still kind of is. Like, I know they opened up the paywall to not being just completely paywalled, but now you got what, a freaking roulette that might take you half a year or a year plus to grind to get one tier. Like that's insane.
So, what is the current intention of like Cassandra and Safeme right now in Region 1? What do they intend to do? Like, what is their whole thought process?
Oh, they just want to kill it, or at least they want to kick me out because I know they said that multiple times. Like, they've called me a bad president for not wanting people to snipe the top commander heroes. Like, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? But no, like basically all he said was he wanted to kick me out, or he wanted to. I mean, they threatened to like burn my members too. They were like, I mean, they said it directly in region chat. I'll probably also make a video on that because region chat was wild. But yeah, they were, they definitely just want to burn us, and push us out of the region, I guess, to replace us or something. Kind of crazy. I mean, like, dude, this is, I was, I know I migrated out, but I was in this region at least 2, 3 years ago, and I stayed here for quite a while. I migrated out, came back because it is kind of homey for me. I feel like for me personally, I don't hate whale alliances, but I just have a lot less fun always being against like the same opponents and stuff. So I just preferred my low prime group. I thought I could just live peacefully in Region One, and then you got a whale, just bopping in here going crazy. So it is what it is.
I mean, it feels quite bad. Like a whole region, it is being destroyed just because, or maybe just because the whale got a debuff.
Yeah, it is insane. Like, and it's just crazy that it's all over a debuff. Like in our region, and it was so weird because he just kept like he was like arguing with the whole region why he was right about um like, oh my gosh, like Cassandra came with no bad intentions, and his explanation for why she was justified was basically, well, you guys will get gifts from her, so it's fine, right? And she'll be gone after the top commander. And it's like, we don't want her to be here in the first place, especially if you don't ask us. So it's just a little annoying, kind of like the entitlement to like owning our region and like how we run things. I feel like he doesn't want me to actually be a president. He wants me to be kind of more of a dog and just like listen to his orders. Because I took like big offense to the fact that he messaged other leaders within the region, right, before he messaged me, threatening to like because he wanted to kick me out, and then he comes up to me, and they're like, "Oh, you suck at diplomacy. You're super rude and all this type of stuff." And I'm like, "Dude, you just threatened to kick me out of my own region, dude. Like I've been here for quite a while, so I don't know. It is just unhinged to me."
So it is just you they want gone, or like they want all of the alliances of Region 1 to leave? Or what is their plan? What is the future?
Yeah, well, they said that themselves. They were like, "Oh, you better find a new home." That's literally what they said. They were telling us to find a new home. I mean, like it's freaking insane, dude.
So if Cassandra had moved to your region with the intention of like staying there, playing with you guys, growing with the region or something like that, or like she had informed you guys beforehand, she want to move in there, get top commander points, and then leave. Like the second case scenario doesn't look good, but if in first case she wanted to move there with you guys and play or something like that, would the things would have been different, or would they have been the same?
You said if they plan to actually stay with the region, oh, it would have been totally different. I wouldn't have debuffed them if they had like been moving in with like SK&G or something, right? But the problem I have is these guys aren't here to contribute to any of the alliances within the region or contribute to the region. You know, they're here simply to get a top commander hero and leave, right? Like they're simply here for their own gain. So it's not like they're to help us at all. You know, they just want a quick hero. That's really it. So yeah, it is pretty toxic in their case.
So I want to know what was the general reaction of Region 1 as a whole. Were they ready for this, and what a response they did want to generate? Like, I mean, you're getting already your top commander event won by someone else, and now you're getting invaded. Like, this all
Oh yeah,
seems
no, no,
very strange.
no, nobody was happy, right? And thing is, like, Safeme said all this stuff, right? He was saying that I threatened Cassandra. Like I said, don't even have chat logs with her. And I don't know if you checked the Discord off topic area, but he basically shared some screenshots, and it was basically me just being honest, right? Like um we don't want, you know, these people here. It's just not cool. We want to give her this debuff. And I said it personally, right? I said I wanted her to like her in Genesis Ward because I don't want her, you know, the point is that you're going to be in pain if you're in my region, you know, just stealing heroes. It's just super toxic to me. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, you know, I get it's a thing, but we have our own structure within our own region. If you don't like that, don't come to our region, you know? Crazy to restructure somebody else's region because you're not getting what you want. It's just, I don't know, crazy. But yeah, he was saying that I threatened her and all this type of stuff. And none of that ever happened. He said I was like, I refused to listen to the other leaders, which I had even when they reached out for diplomacy with me, right? Because they're not even diplomacy; they were just trying to mediate the situation to get me to remove the debuff. I was thinking, you know, and I always like to be able to take a step back because I know that sometimes like our egos can get in the way, and I don't want to just be that guy who's like getting all riled up because this dude hurt my feelings or he hurt my pride, right? Because I know that I have an ego, right? Like, no, there's no doubt about it. Everybody has an ego in some sort of way. And I'll have my ego sometimes, right? But what ends up happening is I say, all right, give me a minute. I'm going to message these leaders. Or I said, like, give me a while. And I basically message in the region leadership chat. And maybe some people didn't have, some people wanted the debuff removed, but I got multiple replies and all of them said they wanted the buff to stay on her. So, you know, I talked to my region. I'm you know, trying to be a good president and not just be the one deciding everything that's going to end up screwing my whole region over because I know that these guys are going to invade. And I'm like, I don't want to, you know, be the reason that these guys maybe get zeroed or they get, you know, attacked. And I don't want to be a prick, you know, like basically. So I asked them and you know, they seemed pretty down with the idea because it's our region. You know, we want to stand up for it. It's just kind of rough they went about this route.
So what is like next for you or Region 1 as a whole? The alliances plan to migrate, or they want to stay here? Like, this is a terrible situation, but do you have something in mind for you guys?
I'm not personally, personally for me, I'm not too worried because realistically, one, I'm not sure if Safeme, like, unless Safeme just doesn't do Genesis War, he doesn't do Island Raid and all this type of stuff. Like, if he's in the freaking Island Raid fighting, I'm just gonna burn the towers down. Realistically, right? I'm just gonna push in the bag every time that he's busy, right? I don't care if they have freaking people who come in here and maybe try to take over the region. I'll be a nuisance if I really need to. I prefer not to. I mean, I just wanted to kind of chill in my own region. But I realistically don't see them doing a full takeover. I hope they don't. Um, I'm sure like most of the region inhabitants won't be happy. I mean, it does suck though. Like nobody really did anything wrong here. So yeah, I don't really know. Like nobody did anything wrong, so I'm not gonna really. Um, I mean, I just don't know what to say there.
Do you think this issue is something like a miscommunication, miscoordination, or something like they're angry at you for playing with ROK, or something like that? Like they were not expecting you at there, and they were expecting you at like DHX or Apex. They were wanted you at their site.
I think it's a bit okay. So I think it's a bit of So I think it's a bit of both, okay? Because he kept mentioning ROK, and he even mentioned that if ROK came here, that I wouldn't have debuffed him. And I know you're an ROK, but realistically, I would have debuffed him too, right? Like, I would have debuffed anybody else who came here. I don't care who you are. If you didn't ask me, you're getting a freaking debuff. Like I'm done with these people just trying to come in our region every single other week and steal like first or second place or whatever. So they get a debuff. But the fact that he did bring up ROK multiple times, kept trying to bring up that I even joined them, and I even know within their because people argued with me. People were arguing about the fact that I did join ROK at all, right? And it's like it's so petty, it's so petty. Like I'm just playing my own game. Um, I joined them one time, and these guys are trying to use that as like ammo to be like, all right, burn the region down, right? Like, what the heck is that, dude? But obviously that did trigger him that I gave her the debuff. He probably took that more personally than anything, I'm imagining. So it's probably a bit of both, but I imagine it's mostly because um, of the ROK situation. Because honestly, he seemed really mad about it or petty about it. Like even in the message that he had sent me, when he reached out to me, he mentioned like go back to Region 4 or 102, wherever you play, and I'm just like, dude, I joined one time and I fought like three times in that actual like event, like I didn't really get many points. Um, and to be honest, I actually avoided like burning any boon bases or anything. I only like went for UOD because I, kind of have a lot of friends in Boone. Wouldn't really screw that up over that, like it's I don't know, like I just have like a good relationship with them. I didn't even touch DHX's bases out of like, my respect, but honestly, these guys are total pricks for acting like this. Like, one of my favorite things is like people, because I'm sure you might get this sometimes if you ever cover anything drama wise, but you'll get like comments, right? And you can tell it's usually people within like the same echo chamber as like the guys you're either um arguing against or something, and there'll be like the one person out of like the 200 people saying, "Oh no, this dude's crazy," to be like, "Oh no, this dude definitely is in the right." And I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, do you not did you not take the freaking headphones off?
So, like, I want to know, like, do you think that the issue stems just because of this debuff, this Cassandra debuff that is specific, or it is because, like, you played with ROK and ROK are their arc rivals and they didn't like it? Like, they shouldn't be bothered by it,
Well,
but since they have been on a bad streak against HNB and ROK for, let's say, in
no,
so what do you think? Like, does it stem from there, or is it possible that this
I
is the
don't
issue?
I don't think they expected me to go there. Thing that's even more weird is when I joined ROK, I actually sent like a screenshot in Boone or whatever, and I was like, "LOL, I'm here." So it didn't seem like they like had the biggest, hoorah about it. But I'm sure DHX maybe felt more pain from it. I don't know why, but I guess they took that personally, and I'm sure it's a little bit of everything. Just mad at me for nothing. Just mad at me to be mad at me.
So before I go and before we wrap this up, I want to know if you have any last thoughts, any thing that you want to share that is in your mind. Like I know this is quite a terrible overall situation for Region One as a whole, and I do not know what the future might hold. But if there is anything you might want to add, you might want to say.
All right, I got you, man. Sorry. So I basically was just saying, at the end of the day, this is just a game, so I hope people don't like take this as seriously as like, Safeme and them, because it feels like these guys are, kind of just obsessive levels. But yeah, it is just a game at the end of the day, don't take this stuff too seriously. And also, like I was saying at the end, subscribe to Red, drop a like. And yeah, that is about it to really what I wanted to say there.
Well, Panda, thank you for your time, and especially big thanks for bearing my accent and bearing my voice. Like it is a bit brittle accent, but yeah,
No
thank you.
problem, man. It was good talking, chatting it out, So you have a good one or whatever, I'll be probably fighting it out for a little while.
Thank you, Panda, and have a great day. I hope you guys get out of this mess
All right.
soon.
You as well, man. You have a good one.